While yes, whatever you said you're not going to be like is probably 100% no, you shouldn't be like that. But the type of statement can be dangerous because it is not a reflection of you working through whatever that is. Or hello, beautiful creatures, welcome to my channel. I am Aradia, the Witch of Dark Light, and I hope you all are doing well. I'm making this video to talk a little bit about love magic and breaking curses. I know those two typically don't go in the same category, but stay with me because I want to talk a little bit about those things and how they relate and how they can prevent your intention setting and things from manifesting in your life. So grab a seat. I have something to drink here. Grab a drink. I'm feeling like sharing some things with you today. Breaking generational curses. First, let's talk a bit about breaking curses. Now, I don't mean the obvious, right? I don't mean breaking curses that you feel someone may have sent to you, or someone is casting magic against you. This is not what I'm talking about, although that can have a part to play in it. But I want to talk about the less obvious, the thing that we don't really pay attention to, that prevents us from casting a magical life or having a magical life or creating and manifesting the things that we desire in our life. So what that is when we go through life, there are things that we decide as an adult that we will not do. We will not be that type of person. We will not be that parent. We will not be that type of partner. We will not be that type of worker. Whatever it is, growing up, you saw how some things may have impacted you in a negative way. So you decide that I'm not going to be that way. So what happens is, whatever that is, when you grow up as an adult, I'll give you an example. When you say you grew up and you feel your parents were kind of hard on you, they didn't allow you to express yourself. So you grow up and you say to yourself, I'm going to be that type of person that allows people to fully express themselves. Now that sounds simple enough, right? But what happens is there's an imbalance because things aren't played out naturally, because your will is, I'm going to make sure. So even in that statement, you are trying to control the situation. And then another thing is, with all that you decide as an adult that you will not be, that means you aren't addressing the thing that made you say that. So this whole time, you're like, I'm not that way. I am allowing, even as a parent, if you are a parent, I am allowing my children to be free. And sometimes that backfires because then you have a spoiled child on your hands. And there's so many other ways that this could play out because you are trying to control the situation based on you saying, I am not going to allow myself to be that way, instead of working through those issues and things, those traumas that that impacted you in such a way that you decided you're not going to be like that. So when you don't deal with those, these are the things that are less obvious, because in your mind, you're like, you've conquered it because you're not being that way. But it is seeking through the crevices, seeking through your conscious world, and it is impacting your relationships to things, how you are, your perspective, and when it's triggered, it comes out and you may not even know what the hell it was. So I call these curses because what happens is these are things that are passed down from generation to generation. It may look different, and your great grandparent, right, may have done the same thing, thinking they are going to be better and not do the things that they felt bother them. They pass that down and it plays out because they aren't working on the root of that. That passes down to their children, which is your parents. And then, they go through the same thing because they went through the traumas that their parents didn't work through. So this thing begins to trickle down. And unless someone within that lineage decides, no, I am going to address this thing. I'm going to work through what it was and heal from that. I'm not going to say I'm not going to be like that, because that would mean you are controlling and fighting against the natural flow of who you are. You're trying to shift and manipulate, which fights against your natural gifts, right? You can 100% live out life in a different role, in a different way, but it won't be in alignment with who you really are, and you will feel that. You will feel not fulfilled and not happy. So these things pass down. So why I wanted to talk about that first is because the next thing, the first, love magic. Love magic is a very big topic, a very big issue, a very big thing in the world of magic, in the world, period, right? And specifically in the world of magic, because when we come into the understanding of manifesting and manipulating people's will or situation, a lot of that centers around love magic, drawing in the right person, your loved one, your partner, your soulmate. None of this can happen properly until you love yourself. That is the first love magic you should be casting, loving yourself. And one of the ways that I think can keep you in the realms of understanding this, keep you in the know, or keep you in being mindful, is creating a charm. And I know that sounds simple enough, so just bear with me. I went from talking about generational curses to just creating a charm, right? Doesn't line up, right? Hear me out. The love charm. The act of creating this charm and activating this charm that I'm wearing around my neck, which is activated to draw in love, the feeling of love, to illuminate those energies of love. What happens is you are reminded as you are wearing this about loving yourself. You are reminded that you are your first love. You are reminded that when you are going through something, that you have to work on loving yourself. So not only is this charmed with calling in the frequency, calling in those energies, attracting things that you love, attracting your aura to resonate those frequencies of love. It is a reminder, and we all need a reminder, because life comes at us and hits us hard quite a bit of the times. And during those moments, we're not going to think, oh, I have to love myself. We're going to think, we go into that fight or flight mode, that reptilian primal mode in those moments. So we don't think about that. So having a charm, a bracelet, a ring, having something on your body, on your presence, even if it's a charm bag, you can carry that on you, because when you grab hold to it, when you grab hold to your charm, it is a reminder that you are your first love. Loving yourself will open up the door and call in and attract the love that you desire. And let me walk you through how I activated my charm. What I did was, and there's many ways that I do this, but this is how I was led to activate this specific one that I'm wearing. What I did was, I first of all got myself in the mood, had the music playing, and felt the vibrations and, feeling it. I lit the incense, and not the incense, I lit my charcoal, and I put the incense of the gods. First, I sprinkled some rose petals, and as I sprinkled the rose petals, I am loved, I am beautiful, I am loved, I am beautiful, inside and out. So you sprinkle those rose petals, then you sprinkle whatever incense that manifest those vibes for you. For me, if you're on this channel, you know what it is my incense of the gods. So I sprinkled some incense of the gods and chanted all of those things that called in the vibration of love. So once that was done, I grabbed the charm and I let it resonate within the smoke of the incense, and I did that several times. And as I did that, I let it hover over the smoke, and I called in those emotions. I felt it. I vibrated in those energies at that moment and invoked those energies into that charm. Because it's very important when you create charms, whether they are to glamour or love charms, it is very important that at that moment of creating it, activating it, initiating it, you want to invoke. And invoke is calling in the energies of that particular thing. So you're calling in the energies of love. You're invoking the energies of love. So play that love music that makes you feel good. Play whatever it is. Light the incense that makes you feel, think about the Venusian things, Venus. Have visuals around you, whether it is just rose petals. Go, before you do this, buy yourself some roses and use those roses at the time. Sit them around and in your visual while you're creating this charm, because the more you vibrate those energies, the more you ignite the energies, the more power will be invoked into this charm. So, as you can tell, I'm very passionate about this, because a lot of times you hear so much about love magic. You hear so much about I draw in, attract, call in a lover. You want to manifest a partner. I'm telling you, you do not even have to do all of that. And I know this is an unpopular opinion. A lot of people want to cast those love spells, but you won't even have to cast that love spell. I am telling you, once you get in your mind that you are your first lover, no one else, you love yourself. Once you have come into the understanding of that and vibrate in those energies, you walk in those energies, not every day, but as I said, if you create this charm when you're having a bad day, you hold on to it and you say, I am loved. And so you keep, you don't want to go so low out of those frequencies. You want to be able to build and build and build on this. So you can be a walking magnet for love, because it will, like attracts like, right? So if you're vibrating the love, you're going to connect with things that are full of love and draw those things into your life. And all from a little charm, right? But first, like I said, you have to acknowledge that there are things, generational things, that are passed down that prevent you from loving yourself to begin with. So really work on that simultaneously as you are creating things like this. Taking action. These are things that have to be acknowledged. When you look back, think about the things that you said, I'm not going to be that way because that was wrong, or whatever it is. Those statements can be dangerous. While, yes, whatever you said you're not going to be like is probably 100% no, you shouldn't be like that. But the type of statement can be dangerous because it is not a reflection of you working through whatever that is or healing whatever that is. So when you look back, think about those things that you would say that to. And when you think about that, then think about, okay, let me rewire my thought process. Let me say I need to work through healing from that thing so that I could walk in the fullness of who I am. If you are new to this channel and you are just dropping in, please do consider subscribing, giving me a thumbs up. And if you are here with me and have been here with me, I love you. Thank you for being here with me on my journey, on this YouTube journey of all the different changes, the ebbs and flows. Because I'm going through one right now. I guess it's the seasonal thing, the season of the witch. We're going into the darker part of the year, the calendar year. So yeah, that is all for today. Until the next video, whenever it is that you're watching this, morning, afternoon, evening, night, I love you all, and into the shadows.